Hello, crypto world. Welcome to the Chart Historian. My name is Justin, and on this channel, I delve deep into crypto charts, exploring chart structures, fractals, and patterns. So I have the XRP chart open, and look at this move up. I mean, it is just glorious. Now, just to put a little perspective on this move up. So XRP has been following this structure over here. This is from its fairly recent history. So if we copy and paste this over here and match it to the timing, height, and depth, it will look something like this. So as you can see, it has been following it for the most part pretty closely. However, I mean, look at this. It's just, it really shot up. So there is a little perspective on how sweet this has been. Fate was kind to us. God gave us the desires of our hearts. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this the peak? What I'd like to do next is compare what XRP is doing today to that third range-bound fractal that is our touchstone for what XRP is doing today, and we'll see how that fractal compares to today's XRP. So here is that fractal. This is the third range-bound fractal. So as you can see, there are three fractals in this range-bound time. We are in the third one, which means we are getting close to the bull run. We're not there yet, but this fractal leads into the coming bull run. So for those of you who are not familiar with this, XRP has a repetitive structure. It has its bull runs, which we see here, we see over here. It has its declines that come after the bull run, which we see in all these places. And then it has this sideways range-bound time that exists after the decline and before the next bull run. I divide these into three different parts. And we have completed fractal 1 with its move up and move down, part A, and then where it goes flat, part B. We see that over here. Fractal 2 with its three waves, wave A, wave B, and wave C. We see that over here, wave A, wave B, and wave C. And now we are working on fractal 3. In this iteration of it, we have three waves, wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3, which brings it to a peak. As you can see, it crashes after this, and then it does a recovery with a correction before going into the bull run. So we have completed the first wave right here. It looks different from this time around, but it is still that first wave. We are now moving up into this second wave right here. And as you can see, once again, it just knocked it out of the park this time around. Let's copy and paste this structure onto here. Now I'm going to heavily adjust it for timing, height, and depth. So we know where we are in that structure. So when I adjust a fractal, this is important to match what is happening on today's chart. It's because I'm using it as a guide, as a map to know where we are in that structure. I'm not trying to bend the fractal so I can feel good about myself. I'm using it as a marker of where we are in that fractal. So let's dive into this. Okay, so here we are back at today's chart, and as you can see, I heavily adjusted it to match what is currently taking place so we know where we are in the map that leads to the next bull run. Look at this. This is interesting. This move down, it was so drastic. It does move down here, but just minor. So this was such a big move down. Well, it is technically part of the fractal because the fractal does move down. Just this depth of it wasn't part of it. When it was around here, I was kind of like, what is going on? Sometimes in those situations, the best thing to do is just let things play out. So as it plays out, it becomes understandable. It becomes legible once again. So as you can see, we are nearing, I believe we are potentially nearing the peak here. And as you can see how, now I'm on a 1 hour chart, this moves up, pulls back, it's moving up again. So this is what this does. Now, could it go higher? Yes, it probably could. And who knows, maybe it will. But as of now, the way things look, I would venture to say that this is looking similar to this. If this is to continue to play out, we will see it kind of move. This is actually kind of downward. Like here, let me kind of moves down. Now, I don't know how aggressive this move down will be. We'll have to see how that plays out. And we also have these spikes here that may challenge this peak. We'll have to see how that plays out in reality. But when you compare it to the macro structure, let me zoom out here. You can see that we are moving into this phase right here. Now, of course, this is not a judgment of time. As timing changes, timing is elastic. It can stretch out. It can happen real quickly in a short period of time. So this here is not an indication of when the bull run will take place, nor this height and depth, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff is going to be original every single time it plays out. This could easily play out in a much smaller time frame. We will have to see how this all kind of comes together. But as you can see, it is following this structure, and down here it kind of dropped real low, and now it's moving up very high for what this structure indicated it would do. And this is just an example of how timing, height, and depth is unique every single time it plays out. So I have been listening to some other analysts and going through Twitter, and you see all kinds of stuff out there. And you know what? I think there's a trend. A lot of analysts are talking about how this has potential to keep moving up, and it's really good if it does. And if it does, it will need to get above this and hold it above this and get above this line and not go below this line. But all of them tend to hedge their bets. But it could turn over and do this. It could fall back again, and I'm not doing any of that. I'm sticking to my guns here. It's going to be range bound. This is the next wave. I have a very specific message of what XRP is going to do, which this type of technical analysis has that strength. Now, you may not know exactly how it all comes together. You may not know how high things will go or how low or how long that will take to play out. And sometimes you get curveballs like down here, for instance. But overall, as you can see, as time marches on, things tend to make sense in the long run. So it is my belief that we are going to move into something similar to this. Now, it may not follow this exact. It may follow that other one from May 2022 to January 2023, that more recent fractal. We'll have to see how all of it kind of comes together. But this is what we are going into. We are not going into a bull run, at least not yet. We will. We just have to get through all these parts here. And when this part happens, it's going to be deja vu of how it was with the ruling and the move up that took place. People are going to believe that this is what they believe this is right now. Although I do think there is some caution out there. And, you know, I think there's a lot of really good analysts that cover XRP. And I encourage you to get other perspectives and hear other people. But, yeah, I'm not hedging my bets here. I'm telling you exactly. I only give you one option, and it's this. It's not this. It's not this. Now, I don't know how the nuances of this, the minutia of it will play out, but this is what we're going into. Something similar to this. Well, that is my little update. I hope you found this valuable. If you did, it'd be much appreciated if you hit that thumbs up button. This is not financial advice, so please don't use this as financial or investment advice. If you did enjoy this type of technical analysis, and if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, you should think about doing it. This is original TA. This is a system that I have discovered, and you're not going to find it anywhere else. I'm so glad you caught this video. I hope you catch my next one. Have a great day, and bye for now.